I can tell you that there is a significant amount of evidence that this came from that laboratory in Wuhan.
From our perspective, this remains speculative. So if that data and evidence is available, then it will be for the United States government to decide whether and when it can be shared.
Gives you high confidence that it originated in that Wuhan lab.
Remember, China has a history of infecting the world, and they have a history of running substandard laboratories. These are not the first times that we've had a world exposed to viruses.
WHO of its understanding of the disease and requesting for more information.
No, we have not received any data or specific evidence from the US government relating to the purported origin of the virus. So from our perspective, this remains speculative, but like any evidence-based organization, we would be very willing to receive any information that purports to the origin of the virus, because as Maria said, the origin of the virus is a very important piece of public health information for future control. So if that data and evidence is available, then it will be for the United States government to decide whether and when it can be shared. But it's difficult for WHO to operate in an information vacuum in that specific regard. We need to understand that we can learn from Chinese scientists, we can learn from each other, we can exchange knowledge, and we can find the answers together. If this is projected as aggressive investigation of wrongdoing, then I believe that's much more difficult to deal with. That's a political issue, that is not a science issue. We see scientists in China communicating, collaborating around the world right the way through this pandemic. We would like to see that spirit continue, and we would like to see scientists at the center of the exploration of the source of this. Science needs to be at the center. Science will find the answers.
So did Taiwan warn WHO on 31 December 2019? The answer is no, they didn't. The email wasn't a warning, and it only contained information that WHO already had picked up from internet reports. It's also important to say that the Wuhan situation had already been captured by WHO on that day, 31 December 2019.
I can tell you that there is a significant amount of evidence that this came from that laboratory in Wuhan.
And my question is, have you seen anything at this point that gives you a high degree of confidence that the Wuhan Institute of Virology was the origin of this virus?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. There's a lot of theories, but yeah, we have people looking at it very, very strongly. Scientific people, intelligence people, and others.
And what gives
and we're going to put it all together. I think we're going to have a very good answer eventually.
And what gives you
and China might even tell us. China may tell us.
Remember, China has a history of infecting the world, and they have a history of running substandard laboratories. These are not the first times that we've had a world exposed to viruses as a result of failures in a Chinese lab. And so while the intelligence community continues to do its work, they should continue to do that and verify so that we are certain. I can tell you that there is a significant amount of evidence that this came from that laboratory in Wuhan.
The scientific consensus was not man-made or genetically modified.
That's right, I agree with that. Yeah, I've seen their analysis. I've seen the summary that you saw that was released publicly. I have no reason to doubt that that is accurate.
Wuhan Institute of Virology was the origin of this virus?
Yes, I have.
You said a moment ago you will soon have information on where this virus originated. The Director of National Intelligence today put out a statement saying that they believe it was naturally occurring, it was not man-made. But
Who is that? Who is that that said that?
the Office of the Director of
Yeah,
National
but
Intelligence.
who in particular? Who was the man that made that
It
statement?
was a statement that the ODNI...
Oh, he would know that, huh? National Intelligence. So we'll see.
That would be your
we're gonna
Director of
see.
National Intelligence.
No,
Right
I
now,
know, I mean, you'd have to tell me who specifically, who made the statement.
The question I had was, have you seen anything at this point that gives you a high degree of confidence that the Wuhan Institute of Virology was the origin of this virus?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. There's a lot of theories, but yeah, we have people looking at it very, very strongly. Scientific people, intelligence people, and others. And China might even tell us. China may tell us.
And what gives you a high degree of confidence that this originated from the Wuhan Institute of Virology?
I can't tell you that. I'm not allowed to tell you that.
On holding them accountable, is that something you prefer to do now in the next
No,
few
I don't
weeks?
want to do that. I want to find out what happened. I think we'll be able to get a very good, very powerful definition of exactly what happened. We're working on it strongly now, and I think it's going to be very powerful. But they could have stopped it. They are a very brilliant nation, scientifically and otherwise. It got loose, let's say, and they could have capped it. They could have stopped it.